Feels like that design in the background is the same shape as the message the Iskandarians sent their thing in. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. We are back again with another episode of Space Battleship Yamato, and I forgot to introduce myself. I am Theta. This is weird. Anyway, we are back with another episode of Space Battleship Yamato 2. We are on the third episode, Earth's Crisis Awakens the Yamato. As you know, we left last episode, I believe, in the midst of a power crisis caused by the plane. I think they called it a plane from the Common Empire's scout ship. Which apparently, again, I've got notes. I don't know. I'm leaping into things ahead of time. I have notes. You'll hear it in my notes what I'm thinking about this. That's where we left off last time. We come back as we normally do with notes, comments, and a board. So let's go ahead and hit that board, where I have added Sado, me, that's the cat, Tokugawa, Shima, Nanbu, Todo, and Serizawa. I connected Hikata to Kodai with a white line. I connected Todo to Kodai with a green line. And I connected Dessler to Sabre with a white line. Otherwise, I got rid of the individual connections of green lines between the former Yamato crew, and I just connected them with green lines. We all know they're going to be on the crew again. Otherwise, yeah, that is everybody been re-added so far. On to notes then. You know, I take back what I said about Kodai and Yuki. I get that they were barely a thing in the original, but the small amount of flirting that did happen, on top of taking part in the death of Gamlis, must have been an eye-opener. Then having her seemingly die clearly pushed to the forefront of his mind how much she meant to him. Her coming back to life is still bullshit, but it makes sense that they'd be together now, and I like them as a couple. It's cute. Kodai's speech of "what was it all for" just strikes me as an entirely out of nowhere. Like, I get that the writers may have wanted to send a message and packed it in with Kodai's sentiment, but what was the alternative? People would just be better slowly and painfully dying rather than being materialistic? I mean, cut them some slack. They lost everything to the Gamlis bombardment, and now you are prospering. Who gives a shit if they're enjoying stuff now that they didn't have before? Alternate movie version of you went straight to IKEA once he got back to Earth, so pretty hard swerve that you've made here. I mean, it'd be different if they saved the world and a fascist government rose up to put people to work in labor camps. That'd be a moment to question what it was all for. Hell, they should have done that. Can you imagine? Instead of the Earth being fixed in a year, imagine that it's just as bad as it was a year ago, and the work required to rebuild even slightly means people going at it in mines and whatnot for extreme amounts of time, to the point that the standing government enforces it as a mandatory thing, just getting harsher and harsher with the people. And one day Kodai finds out that the ruling elite aren't pulling their share and has to decide what to do about it. Old hero versus the government. That could have been a thing. That would have been an amazing watch. I'm not criticizing just yet because we're only like 3 episodes in and I've seen the movie and, you know, I kind of know where it's going, but they are swerving all over the place, so who the hell knows what the differences between the movie and the show are actually going to be. Everybody who's watched this before, they know. But anyway, I'm just saying that would have been an amazing story and a very serious one too. And not for nothing, this show does seem serious most of the time. So I guess being the flagship gives you default priority, matching the priority other ships need circumstances, matching articles of spaceflight to attain. In that case, Hijikata is asking why they didn't declare their status to ensure priority was known. I mean, given the above, I guess that makes sense, even though it was completely ass backwards. I'd imagine there should be a reason for it. Either way, I'm pretty sure there was a communication back and forth between the game of chicken, could have been spent doing that. Or, you know, the top of the line detection systems on the Andromeda could have noticed the damage done to the Third Perimeter Fleet's ships. It's still pretty dumb no matter which direction you come at this from. I mean, I obviously can see where the breakdown of the Andromeda is going. Someone either is going to steal it, the captain's going to go mad, or it's going to go hangwire, like every time Teresa's signal shuts everything down, or apparently the Comet Empire's scout ship, if that was the cause. It's a classic anti-technology trope, and I don't get it. What they've done is make a better ship that requires less crew. Less people have to be sacrificed due to a poor engagement, like all the lives lost on the Yamato throughout that first season. You could make fleets like this with the same crew complement as a single ship. To me, it's foolishness, especially to do so before the enemy's ability to shut down your tech is even shown. To basically say it's faster, stronger, shoots further, and twice as much, and requires less people to operate. That's not how you win a battle. What's next, though? Let's talk about a threat so we can all forget about the despicable Andromeda. And right after that, tech upgrades for the Yamato. Yay, tech upgrades. It's like, wait, did we forget what we were just talking about? Two things about the time radar. One, I hate it. And two, glad the first thing they did was show how disrespectful Tokugawa was. Kodai is like, this can be a powerful aid. My man, we can see visually into the past. Crime is done. How about that? It's been a year, and we didn't spend all of it rebuilding the Earth, but also developing technology beyond the scope of human understanding? I have to think this is also the first model of it, since it had to be explained and shown, meaning this is as bad as this technology is ever going to be. It's all uphill from here. 2 hour span? Let's look back years. Let's see what Jesus looked like. Let's take a peek at Buddha. Let's find every hidden treasure, sunken ship, lost ancient tome, etc., and just get rich on antiquity. You could make an entire show just based off of this thing. Which I probably have. There's probably been plenty of cartoons, Time Squad and whatnot. Sherman and Peabody. Like, this is insanity of the highest order. I can only assume that Batman Detective Mode is based off of this. Anyway, those were my notes. There wasn't a lot of notes this episode. But like I said, we do have a comment. Kellen Winslow from the Comet Appears remodeling the Yamato. Interesting board setup. Makes sense given how many different versions of things there will be coming up. Still, it wouldn't be as crazy as keeping track of all the Captain Harlock stuff. I mean, yeah. I've watched 2 Captain Harlock things, which is to say he appears in Galaxy Express 999, and I watched like one 2000s era CGI Captain Harlock movie. But I think what you're implying is Captain Harlock just shows up in a bunch of stuff. So it would be kind of insane to just have a Harlock watch through. You know, just watch everything Captain Harlock shows up in at least once, or is it even like sideways implied to be in a shared Harlock universe, if you will. It's interesting that they didn't change the song for the Comet Empire arc, probably just budget reasons, or maybe they just figured it was a popular song, so why change it? Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. As I said many times, it makes absolutely no sense that Earth was fully restored and they were able to recover in only a year or so. This is something that gets addressed in Yamato 2202. And yeah, what happened to the creatures that lived on Pluto? I mean, it made no sense in the original show, but now that it's been established, they just forgot about them? Just another interesting kink in the show. I think it's more egregious that they're gone only because they were so careful to make sure that they survived, right? If not for that element, which was very specifically an element that they spent time on in the episodes that was there, if not for that element, you could say, oh, they died when the base was destroyed or something. But no, they made sure to make them stay alive, so... Your take on liking things while acknowledging their flaws is pretty much spot on. Nothing is perfect, but many things have good ideas and poor execution. There are many things that have great ideas and great execution, but obviously those are less frequent. It's interesting, I never thought if the Gamlis as being space Nazis. Actually, they always reminded me of the Kree from Marvel Comics. Some of them are good, some of them are not, and are just forced into positions they don't want. This is clear in 2199, but in the original show, they are all one-dimensional characters, which is unfortunate. I mean, I know you're responding to someone else's comment that was referring to the fact that the Gamlis are basically space Nazis. I don't know. Here's the element. I think they're only being labeled as space Nazis because their leader is called Führer. And not for nothing, that's just using a German word that means leader that has a historical, unfortunate connotation. Other than that, what are they? I mean, they've got a despot as a leader. You probably lean into fascism, but I don't know if you. It's like a military junta, maybe. There's no clear politics here because all we see is the military leadership. So what do you get when all you have is military leaders? Like the element is, if you look back at like Universal Century Mobile Suit Gundam, right? The Earth Federation for the entire first season of the show. First season. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about anymore. For the entire first run, you never see any civilian government. Like for the longest time, me and Lessons were talking about because we were watching chronological order, right? Mind you. For the longest time, there is no civilian government. It's always the military leaders we look at. I think it wasn't until Stardust Memory that we saw some civilian leaders, and they're just getting shat on by the military guys. For all intents and purposes, the Federation of the Earth Federation is run by the military. Not for nothing, that don't turn out so great so far. What we're watching in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, where the Titans, which are representatives of the Earth Federation, are just shitting on people left and right. But the idea being that that's not a Nazi parallel. What is Gamlis doing that's Nazi parallel? Sorry, this is a conversation I probably shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be happening right now. What are the Gamlis people doing that's a Nazi parallel? Well, they very specifically are using some very... I apologize. This is shit that usually gets edited out in the final because... Stupid. Very stupid. I can see your argument. That is a what they do thing. That is not their ideology thing. We have no idea what the Gamlis ideology is beyond survival of their own species. They don't have very specific ideals that I think you would put to the Nazi test. So, despotic, maybe. Fascist, possibly. It's a military-run government, that's all I can see. Secret Galaxy is good, I agree. Their Robotech / Macross legal videos are good. Yeah, I mean, they got 2-hour run of all of their Robotech Macross videos all put together, along with Exo Squad, I want to say. Because Exo Squad apparently also gotten that mixed legally somehow. Probably that one mecha that everybody wanted. Either way, enjoying your reactions and looking forward to next few years of Yamato. Well, to be fair, I don't know how long the other seasons are. If they 25 episode runs, probably maybe half a year? Even for all the reboot stuff? I don't know. Anyway, that was your comment. Nothing left to do here, but to hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I know this is going to be like a weird segue, but I just want to say that this is like the third show that I'm recording back to back for, I don't know, last 3 hours now. And it is currently going on 4 a.m. So this is, when I record. And technically it is Christmas morning in America. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. On episode 3 of Space Battleship Yamato, Season 2. I know that there's likely not going to be any Christmas imagery in this anywhere at all. So dating it as a Christmas recording, nothing to do with anything. In fact, I did release just an episode of my once-a-year reaction to Always My Santa just yesterday on Christmas Eve, so that was the Christmas thing that I was giving you all this year. And as I said, once a year, and yes, anybody looking up will know there's only 2 episodes. Anyway, that was the conversation for the opening.
西暦2201年、ヤマトは古代進む艦長代理のもと、太陽系外周第三艦隊機関
That's also something I did not appreciate before, that I only took note of when I was doing my notes. It's the third perimeter fleet guarding the perimeter of the solar system. Whereas in the movie, it was like a ship for like piracy, and it was going through all the different planets that have been resettled. So I appreciate that difference.
強力なハイウェーブ通信が回路を勝手に駆け回っているんだ。よし、地球へ持ち帰って真田さんに分析してもらおう。
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing, the communications wave could have taken everything out. Although I guess it seems to imply it doesn't affect the Comet Empire. Because otherwise she would just be hitting all the Comet Empire things, shutting them down. I remember this 2-minute clip from the movie.
不幸にも古代の予感は的中していた。大宇宙の覇者をもって任じる水星帝国ガトランティスはアンドロメダ大星雲を制圧し、銀河系宇宙にその魔の手を伸ばさんとしていたのだ。水星要塞の超重力は
Wait, the Andromeda Nebula?
文明と資源を持つ豊かな星は I
was thinking that would put him in contention with Dessler, but the fact is that Dessler comes from the Lesser Magellanic Cloud. We've never heard about the Andromeda Nebula before. Also, very much that seemed like the Andromeda Galaxy. Guess those random places on Earth. I guess that would make sense why he ran into Dessler. Andromeda, Magellanic Cloud, Milky Way. Forgot from us. I've stated before, this is why I wouldn't care if the Earth got devastated again, because how easily we just recovered. Are we supposed to have forgotten everything that happened? We're recapping the first 2 episodes in totality. We're 4 minutes in, and this is literally the start of the new stuff. Well, technically, this is where we left off. Also, not for nothing, if this is how we're gonna prove that the Andromeda is like a bad ship, then the Yamato cannot operate in space without technology at all. Oh, we're still recapping, by the way. This is also them launching that we saw last time. Okay. Almost a full 5 minutes. This is like Dragon Ball Z level of recap. Also, not for nothing, implying that the Comet Empire took over the Andromeda Nebula, and it's called Andromeda, the new flagship. Those look like new kids. I didn't recognize them as any of the kids of the family at all. They really could have reused those kids. What are you doing, my wife?
ちょうど作業の区切り時だったんだね。アンドロメダが出航したようだな。
事故の原因を調査に行ったんだ。
仕事始めか。こっちは故障してよかったよ。司令部の命令をすぐ実行しないで済むからな。
というと、ヤマトをアンドロメダと同じタイプにするってことか。
そんなこと
I mean, they stole it in the movie, so I'm assuming they're gonna steal it at some point now, too.
古代か、すぐ分析室に来てくれ。例の通信が少し解読できたんだ。
わかりました。
Feels like that design in the background is the same shape as the message the Iskandarians sent their thing in. What my recordings sound like before I do editing. How do you know Recolor Galaxy? I mean, I like it. I like that they're slowly revealing what it's saying. Have you ever watched the movie On the Beach? Kind of a similar, one of the remakes of On the Beach anyway. Similar thing. Also a very psychologically damaging movie, On the Beach.
そうです。かつてスターシアの通信がガミラスに妨害されたように。
なるほど。とすると、
I like the callback.
危機の張本人ということか。否定はできない。
おそらくあの白色彗星と何か関係があるかもしれない。だとすればその災害の大きさは。
Where the hell is this planet if it's being blocked by a comet between galaxies?
たとえ地球に接近してきたところで、さして心配することはありませんよ。先頃完成したアンドロメダをはじめ波動放送機の戦艦だけでも今や全世界に数十隻。彗星の一つや二つ簡単に葬り去って
To be fair,
いや古代艦長代理があえて防衛会議
that is a lot of firepower.
したのは地球だけの問題としてではないのだ。しかし長官、こんな不確かな情報で政府が動くわけにはいかんよ。人騒がせな話はいい加減にしてもらいたいものだ。
お尋ねします。地球は宇宙の平和を守るリーダーではなかったんですか。
古代、やめろ。
もし地球人が真に宇宙の平和と人々の共存を願う。
やめたまえ。君はオブザーバーだ。防衛会議を批判する権利はない。
Who the fuck are you? I know who he is. I'm just saying, who the fuck are you?
そうか、国防会議の連中、まるで危機感がないな。
突然襲撃されたらどうなるんだ。
This would have been one of those there's no fighting in the war room situations.
古代、そのことだが、先日の事故の原因は金星のエネルギー集積移送基地が破壊されたためだそうだ。
破壊？
アンドロメダの調査結果を待たんとはっきりしたことはわからんが、敵の攻撃を受けたのかもしれないな。
Is this how that guy's gonna turn into the captain of the Yamato in this? He's gonna be the sole survivor of the Andromeda from the reconnaissance mission.
ヤマトは発進できますか。
なんだって？古代。
一連の謎を我々の手で解明するんです。危機というのが本当だとしたら、ことは一刻を争いますよ。
だが古代、俺たちだけではヤマトは動かせんぞ。
無論、
Did
地球の
before?
国民のみんなに連絡するんです。
Oh, you mean like that? Sorry, I thought you meant with like supplies from the government.
司令部の許可なしに行動したらどんな処罰を受けるかわからんぞ。
どうやって許可を取るって言うんだ。説得しても耳を傾けるような相手じゃないってことぐらいよく知ってるだろう。真田さん、
呼びかけはしてみよう。だがみんなそれぞれの任務を持っている。果たして何
Like bullshit. You don't go through that kind of shit, not like call to action.
島、君は言ってくれるな。
考えさせてくれ。俺にはまだ。
島。
They should have established that all these people have families now. And that should be the reason why they should hold back. Because loyalty to the government, after we just saw the government fucking act like that, should not be the thing. Because so far it's just Yuki and Kodai that are the only people, like, have something going on beyond the ship. And they didn't even do the Achaia trip.
なんでもないよユキ。
防衛会議の結果やっぱりダメだったのね。
It's just a slow, sad version of the theme song.
おかしいわ。私たち何でも話す。
So that's going to come across in the in the YouTube video, but I like that they at least did this, showing not all of the Earth is recouped. Don't so much like the fact it's just looping over and over again.
ガミラスとの戦いの間、ひたすら明日の希望を夢見続けた穴蔵だ。
Every time they invoke the underground city stuff, I constantly get Gurren Lagann vibes. I know they're not the only ones to do it. Maybe just Gurren Lagann's on my mind now.
かつての地球防衛軍司令部。廃墟だな、これじゃ。
I mean, you were like a couple months away
覚えてるか
from the end of the world.
僕らがイスカンダルへ旅立った日のこと。地球を守るために僕らもヤマトも戦った。あの戦いは一体何だったんだ。
Please make it more important than just materialism. What the government is like now is not a result of materialism. That is, I don't know, something else. Something else is not coming to me. And a shot from the opening. Is this the ship returning to Earth for the first time? Again, all these people should be dying of radiation sickness, not out here cheering. Also, they just got a huge blast of radioactive air from the surface. You know, if that was modern day, an American movie, that would be End of the World is Near, newspaper flown by.
使命を果たした喜び忘れられないわ。
ユキ、僕は分かったよ。29万6000光年の航海ではっきり分かった。宇宙の平和がなくて地球の平和はない。
Very Earth-centric, that opinion.
地球に幸せをもたらすんだ。宇宙のどこかの星の不幸は地球人の不幸なんだ。
That's a fair assessment. I can agree with that part.
古代君。なぜ地下都市へ誘ってくれたか分かったわ。
ユキ、僕らだって同じだ。地球の、いや、地球だけじゃない。
I mean, I like this more than the sneaking on board thing that happened. I mean, Yuki sneaking on board.
そうね。
Him talking to her about it first makes more sense.
分かってくれるかい？
あ、そうだ。ね、古代君、ちょっと待ってて。
ユキ。
Unless the point is he's telling her he needs to go, and not that we need to go. In which case, she's just gonna sneak aboard again anyway. Okay, that's just what she was telling him. I mean, he was telling her. Also, I get the waviness was because she was crying, which I love. That was a great effect that they did. I thought we were going to get a flashback. I'm like, how would this place have changed? was an underground safety chamber back then, it would look exactly the same. I love that they're leaning into the emotionality of it. Something that the movie kind of failed to do, other than the let's buy stuff for the house, which I wish we'd still get that too. Was that Talon? Were we Talon back? I don't know, it doesn't kind of look like Talon. It seems to imply that he's still got his ship, which might mean he might still have a full Gambless crew. They called it the Dessler fleet, though. He might have a whole that's Dessler ship. I mean, that's a Gambless ship. Okay, good. We still got a Gambless fleet again. To lose, you know, but whatever. Gambless is an empire again. Thank you. Because there was no reason the Gambless Empire should have fallen because of one planet. Gambless is a planet, not the Empire. Maybe I need to take back that stuff I said in the comment response. To be fair, those are just words. We still don't know the politics. So I can only imagine what is going on here is, they say they're coming from different combat sectors. That maybe this is like when the Emperor dies in Star Wars. That the Gambless Empire is kind of just like broken up. So they're all defending their different sectors, so like different Imperial Moffs have come together under the new leader, which happens to be the old leader. That's my headcanon for now, because apparently they're not touching what's going on. Still far superior to the movie's explanation that Dessler is the final Gambless survivor. Well, not the auto-aim system if you're the one who wants it gone. I was about to say, let me guess, the lights are about to turn on as the rest of the crew starts funneling in. Or is this the automation system responding to the captain on deck? Nope, never mind. First time was right. Careful. As touching as this is, we know now that this guy takes a piss anywhere. And there was no washroom anywhere around there, so he didn't wash those hands. To be fair, Toto isn't an airhead. He's just becoming obtuse for some reason. You know, I don't actually know why we keep going back to Dessler. Yeah, because they're going to this planet. Has nothing to do with the Yamato crew at the moment. I guess except for maybe the fact that they haven't introduced Tesseract and what it means yet. I just know because of the movie. Assuming that hasn't changed.
これがテレサの星か。ヤマトよ、待っているぞ。
Shit, I just realized something. If it's not the Common Empire people that fucking failed to stop the Yamato here, this means that we're gonna lose the Gameless fleet now. And that's what's gonna cause Dessler to go crazy and everything.
我がサバイバル機構兵団も陸上守備のために上陸を開始しました。ゴーランド提督の艦隊もテレザート前方に展開しつつあります。
たかが一隻の戦艦に大行な。
ゲニー、はっ。地球攻略の作戦状況はどうだ。はい、抜かりはございません、大抵。シリウス・プロキオン両方面軍はバルゼー提督の指揮下に集結中。ナスカ司令の艦隊は地球軍前衛に間もなく。
Also, how shit was the Gameless bombardment that a year after Gameless is gone, it's a vacation planet now for warlords who want to take it over. The Dessler cannon? Is Dessler about to shoot at the planet Teresa's on? Oh wait, those guys were green, not blue, right? Got that backwards.
Yamato は今旅立とうとしている。迫り来る白色彗星、謎の女テレサのメッセージ、そしてテレザート聖域に布陣する。
They legit have no idea about Dessler yet, though. Can't include that in the. They're just gonna show up there, and Dessler's gonna be there with enemy ships, or ships of a different enemy. Huh. Nothing about mutiny or disobeying the government or anything. Well, it seems like this time the editors of this have nothing to say, really, so I'm still going to be slightly hesitant to speak at length because I might be paused by the editors, because I actually do prefer when they give me some background information or additional context for things that are happening, although I guess technically now I need it less than before, given that we had a whole show to go through and a movie, so now I know more about the universe than I did previously. I'm hoping those are still credits and not like untranslated material. But yeah, I'm worried now that the thing that I enjoy is that Dessler and Gameless people have shown back up again, and they're not wiped out completely like they were in the movie, and that we're putting them all in a location where the Yamato is going to show up. And not for nothing, these people are so fucking stupid that multiple combats now, their ships have just run into each other instead of being destroyed by the Yamato. So, I don't have high hopes. I suspect that Gameless is just going to get wiped out again, this time not the home world, just a bunch of ships. But I guess at the same time, there's an unlimited number of ships until they say that there's none. Because it's not like we've been told how many there are. I mean, you could probably pan back and count and then try and count during the fights how many explosions happen. I don't think it's going to matter. This is going to be like Star Trek Voyager. We have as much as we need until an episode appears where we've run out completely. But yeah, like I said, I like what they're doing with the emotionality between Yuki and Kodai. I wish they did still give us the IKEA shopping scene but I feel like that would actually establish them more as together than it seems like they are now. Right now, it seems like boyfriend-girlfriend stuff. In the movie, it felt like fiancé stuff. So, also, it seems like she's still doing the I'm telling you I'm gonna sneak aboard shit. Where I felt like it was better if they just did what they did in the first episode of the show, right? Oh, I see you here, and now I'm here too. Like, I'm a member of the crew. Granted, she wasn't really, like, given that much responsibility. Preferably, I would like to see a lot more women on the crew, because there were before, but cryo sleep and bullshit. We didn't call them back, huh? It was a lineup of repeating men's faces, like literally the same figure over and over again. They didn't call those people back. I guess all of those people died in cryosleep. Unaddressed misogyny in Space Battleship Yamato. Yeah, obviously, to the comment about the comment. I guess maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are so thoroughly coded as space Nazis that despite literally no ideology, no space politics, none of the very specific things except for the one, they legit aren't like, we hate all humans or non-all green or non-blue people. Like, they're very literally working with other people. They just very clearly use the terminology, which is, how would they even know, right? How would they know? The writers. I'm blaming the writers for this uncomfortable bit. Anyway, I think we can just wrap up on that. Like, legitimately, I'm digging myself a hole. The only way out of the hole is just to stop talking. So, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?